All right. Good morning, everybody. Hello and welcome to Zombie Grub's messed up camera, apparently. What? Why? All right, let's fix that. Well, aside from you being horribly misproportioned, how are you doing today?
Okay. A little
Just
worse since
okay?
you said that.
Huh?
It's a little worse now that you said that.
Well, no, sorry, you
Misproportion.
physically are not misproportioned, but the camera from the last time we were doing stuff with Terminator, I forgot to fix it after we chopped it up and it looked all silly.
That's fine. That's fine.
It's always whatever. This is like the most girl you've ever been with me. Holy passive aggressive. Okay, hey, so we got a lot of cool stuff to talk about, but most importantly, hot damn, the signups for this week's Olimoleague were crazy. I don't know how many people have actually. Well, I was gonna say still are. Maybe we'll see as brackets finalize as we speak. But there was I don't know what happened this week, but maybe everyone was just hungry for StarCraft. There were so many people signed up. I've never seen the bracket look that big before.
There's been some Olimoleagues. It really is cool to see it so popular, though. Especially since, like, yesterday, there was, like, 5 people signed up. So, like, in the span of 10 hours, it got super popular. Ugh. But,
Well,
I think this might be the final bracket soon.
right, I was actually refreshing it as you were saying, because they just condensed about half the players out. But that being said, there's still a lot of really good signups, and I see Leenock in the bracket, which we need to talk to, right? Do you want to handle that, or
Oh, okay, sure.
about super secret side project? Actually, guys, here's the exciting news. Okay, tomorrow, Wednesday, is going to be official, so we can't tell you much right now. But TLDR, Zombie and I just booked flights to Toronto for June.
What?
Which is going to be kind of interesting because, yeah, Zombie had this trip planned to Korea. We didn't have this in our agenda, so she's actually flying in from Korea. Hashtag passion.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. No, it's fine. Good thing I'm a good traveler.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. This is me. But fuck that. Actually, I probably wouldn't be in Korea in the first place if it was me, so maybe I wouldn't have this problem.
Oh, yeah. I mean, going for Vancouver is already like it's still a 6-hour flight, isn't it? Ugh.
Sorry, do you want to try that again? What?
Still a 6-hour flight, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's like five and a half, 6 hours, something like that for to Toronto. But whatever. It's the thing is, I think I factor a lot of my time spent in the airport prior to a flight into my flight. So when I have to get to an airport like 3 hours ahead of time for a 3-hour flight, it means about the same to me as like getting there last minute for a 6-hour flight. You know what I mean? Like I rarely get to travel within Canada. It's always international, so it's always getting to the airport hours ahead of time.
I guess so. Yeah. Since I live so close to an airport, and my airport is like kind of small but really efficient, I almost never bother getting there. As just suggested time. It's just enough time to like check in my luggage, of course.
Are you looking for the first match or am I, by the way?
We could do it together, although I think I just closed the bracket.
Okay.
Oh no, I didn't.
Well, I was going to say, there's actually a couple cool setups here. I think Armani versus Innovation could be a really fun round 2 match, assuming Armani wins against Rush Crazy. Actually, you know what? That wouldn't even... I think Rush Crazy versus Armani is going to be pretty good. Into Innovation. Alternatively, we could start with a live versus Super. There's actually or Jockshi leading into her. There's actually quite a couple of good matchups. So, I personally vote for the Armani Rush Crazy series because I liked Rush Crazy, but I know he's like not the most popular player on this bracket.
That's fine with me. Essentially not iron. No, it's gonna make a Missile Reef. Son of a bitch. Stupid lobby making. Well, we don't have Rush Crazy, but we have Diana's Love. Is that close enough?
I don't know. I told Armani we wanted to stream him because I mean the thing is either Rush Crazy's here or he no-shows that he walks over, then it's him versus Innovation, right? So we got Armani at least.
We got one. Nice.
Just asking if it's true that he's leaving for the military soon or if those are rumors. Kind of sad if he is. Hey, by the way, I did not hear an alert for that sub. Did you?
I don't remember.
Also, uh-oh. Hang on, I'm worried about this. Let me go to the replays really quick. Maybe this is a Korea server thing. Last time we did this, yeah, we had to swap out, but my CPU is maxed out at fucking 100% again, and it should not be. And now I'm really worried because I don't know why. But I'm getting fine FPS in game. Let me swap over and check. Yeah, the Olimoleague. You know, I'm gonna lose the Olimoleague. Olivia, if you're watching, I'm just gonna lose the transition scene today. It looks like that's lagging a little bit, but everything else seems fine. 60 FPS, holding strong. And this replay, let's just leave that. So we'll axe out the transition scene for today, just in hopes that that saves things out. With obviously no guarantees that'll be the case.
Okay.
So Armani says he doesn't. I'm confused about this answer he gave me. I said, is it true you're leaving for military soon? He says no. Maybe? What?
Oh. I feel like, I mean, obviously having never had to go to the military, I don't know the actual process, but I feel like we hear quite a bit, because Polt had a whole thing too, about, yeah, I'm going to go, and then, well, I'm taking some time.
Now so. he's saying maybe because he's trying to not. Okay. Because Armani's young, and you can actually put off going to the military for a while, and I think that's what he's inferring here.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Matian. Good to see you in chat. Type an exclamation mark brackets if you guys want to see the brackets today. All the matches that are going on. Keep in mind, we are one of the few streams that do cover this. You still have Crank, Cassie in Korean, Take TV in German, us in English.
Yeah. Is AsWell Rush Crazy?
I believe so. Wasn't he during that free-for-all?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, look very familiar.
Okay, guys. We're going, by the way, full girl streamer mode today. I have here a whiteboard with which I plan to write some subscriber names down with. But it wouldn't be a proper subscriber board if I didn't show you my butt while I leaned over to write your name. So, thank you, Laser _SEQ. Subscribing.
I always hear about how like this is such a girl streamer thing to do. As someone who doesn't watch many streams, you can't tell the difference anyways.
Sorry, I forgot to put a heart next to it. That way you know I appreciate you.
I'm going to assume that it really is a girl streamer thing. But I'm also going to question, like, why though? Like, shouldn't other people do it? I mean, it's not exactly a bad thing.
Zombie Grub. I'm normally with you on being politically correct. I'm not trying to be too sexist about things. But it is literally a girl streamer thing. Because it gives them the opportunity to actually bend over and write the name on something.
Well, okay,
nobody has this at an appropriate level in which they could just turn around and write it.
No, but I think you missed my point. Like I said, like, yeah, I'm gonna assume it's a girl streamer thing, but I'm questioning as to like why. And well, that helps a little bit. It's not like doing it like that and the world map thing, right? I guess because they both do the same thing. Allow the girl streamer to like turn around, but it's not really a bad thing to do either if guy streamers did it.
There's a key difference though, and that's the demographic on Twitch.
Well, no. I mean, like, regardless of whether you're trying to show your butt or your boobs off, like, it's not a bad thing to like do something else when subs, like.
No, there's some legit
right?
people. Like, I love there's this one streamer, FemSteph. She actually has like this tree that she has painted like on the wall, and she like puts the name on a leaf and it becomes a leaf on the tree.
Yeah.
When it's full, it looks really fucking cool. That stuff is like super legit. I'm actually just particularly peeved at the low effort streamers. I'm having a bit of a thing about it. But anyways, we are not low effort streamers. We're really awesome. We're here for the Olimoleague. It's Rifkin and Zombie Grub coming at you with game number 1. It's spawning here in the lower right. He may or may not be leaving StarCraft 2 for the military in the near future. It's the Red Zerg player, Armani.
In the top left is the green Protoss. It is Rushed Crazy.
AsWell. And normally in the past, I would have no problem doing a quick title T and messing up the overlay to write Rush Crazy down here. But with my CPU processors running high, I am a little bit worried that it might freeze things as it's done in the past, and I don't want to do that for today. So just again, hopefully you guys can trust when we say Rush Crazy, you know that we're not talking about Armani.
Well, we rarely, try and talk about our money.
Oh, whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Rush Crazy actually participated in our Hunger Games free-for-all style event, which was kind of cool. But more importantly, Rush, I think he's one of the folks in the Lei Fang house. I know that it's got, I think, was it Jim, a couple of the Koreans, and they're all training actually like a block and a half down from the BaseTradeTV house in Korea. In fact, No Regret helped set up the house with them.
I just love that little section is just no one wants to live there. No, that's not entirely true, but it's a popular section to get team houses. It really is not quite in the middle of nowhere. It's not like in a village or anything like that, but it is obnoxious to get to. See why it's more reasonably priced and vacant. Anyways, ZVP Armani, apparently not going to go to military. Actually, soon, eventually, I guess, but still playing. He did just, I guess maybe this is still a bit of a spoiler, although it's a couple days old, but hasn't been performing too well, I guess is what I'll say. Unfortunately for him, he used to be one of our favorite players back when the Olimoleague was still like struggling to get high-class, high-profile players. It was him and a couple other Samsung Galaxy guys, but of course, Samsung Galaxy no longer a team. Rip.
Feels bad, man. Well, no longer a StarCraft team.
Is that a league team called something else nowadays? I don't actually know.
I just remember there's the discrepancy between like Samsung Galaxy and like Samsung Galaxy Con for a while, and it's like a non-issue that became an issue.
Well, yeah. Well, Samsung. I don't know what Con meant, but they wanted to, label it with the new Galaxy S7 or whatever the flip was, the new phone. Did it work? I don't know. Is it still the same thing? I don't know.
Well, we got a couple links coming across the map. Overlord having died was certainly a bit of a sting this early on. No revenge for these lings?
Nope. Overlord gets in here, sees that Phoenix's supply blocked. Sees the Oracle, actually. Run outs, and Armani's not doing anything too crazy. He's not rush crazy after all. Just Spore Crawlers. Not really any saturated to third base anyways, so nothing to go up there for the Oracle. It's usually followed up by at least somewhat of an adept attack, or at least a poke and a prod. I'm sure Armani will be ready for. That is Oracle. Find the drone.
Sometimes it's even a second Oracle, actually. I was a bit surprised to see the Phoenix coming out so quickly. But if you can get something done with them, fantastic.
Just one.
So what's kind of interesting, and as we've seen many times over, sometimes the actual meta shift of the game, as far as like what is quote-unquote balanced, seems to end up hitting before the pros adapt to it. And one of the things that I'm really interested in right now is where Hydras sit. We've been watching more and more prevalent Hydra Ling Bane be the composition we're seeing versus Protoss nowadays. And I think when you watch a lot of the, and I don't mean this to be disrespectful, but like lower league players or like the Grandmasters from NA or whoever you want, that's not the pros in Korea is my point. They're talking a lot on Twitter and amongst Twitch chat like how Hydras are becoming better and better and better. We haven't seen a whole hell of a lot of it out of Korea yet, but I think Ling and Hydra really is the new cool thing to do. Or excuse me, Baneling Hydra, more specifically.
I don't know how new it is. I feel like that's been the case for a little bit. Certainly almost every Zerg we're seeing nowadays goes for +1. Most of their games early on into Banelings, and then into... Some get a safety Roach Horn, especially the Europeans, who like roaches. But, yeah, just Ling, Baneling, Hydra. Especially on bustable maps, particularly bustable maps like I guess Newkirk and all that last season. This season, of course, with a couple of new maps and being the Olimoleague, we still have Proxima and Abyssal, but we don't have Blood Boil, which I don't mind at all. Nor do we have Sequencer, which I think the Terrans won't mind that much, but it's actually not that bad of a map, which is a little annoying. Essentially, I don't know what bustable it is. It is kind of a large map. Overseer didn't see probably how many gateways exactly there were, as AsWell, Rush Crazy, not taking his gases at his third quite yet. He is still saturating it though. How many gateways is that going to be? I think it's 8 total. I don't want to count while it's making. I hate when I do this. Okay, that's actually 10 total. Yeah, it is going to be the Resident Glaive's dedicated pressure, shall we say. So no second robo, no gases at the third. He still has 59 probes though. So, it's not like there isn't a recovery process behind it all. But hopefully Armani's ready for this. He already has Hydras on the way. Does he have any Banelings? Doesn't look like it. His Lings are being used to counterattack for now, but they're going to be cleaned up. And Armani needs protection for his Hydras. It's going to be a lot of Adepts.
It is going to be 40-something Lings that do have weapon upgrades. A couple of Banelings get in the mix too. And I think that 10 extra health of the Hydras, I don't know. This is going to be a tough call, but right now AsWell, aka Rush Crazy, definitely has the army supply lead. So drones get pulled into the mix. Hydras doing what they can. They've certainly got the damage, even without upgrades.
Yeah.
Ooh, that Baneling splash.
Big, no problem. Well, there's still some Hydras left over, and you can make a lot of Adepts, so it's never over until you really take out that War Prism. But the Oracle goes down without helping too much. Stalkers obviously aren't going to help too much either. They just were brought along for the ride, I suppose. The difference, try and kill the Overseer.
I think one of the key differences here, though, this is like so all in out of Rush Crazy, and drones were even pulled, and he only killed like 2 of them through the attack.
But it does snowball. Is like that's always the thing with Adepts, is that even if you super crush the first attack, that's usually a good sign. But even then, sometimes they're like, okay, my first attack didn't work. We're going to warp in 2 more sets of 10 at a time Adepts, and I'm still going to snowball if you don't take it seriously. Armani's trying his best here. He's getting more Banelings, and I'll certainly help, but his Hydra count's still continuing to grow a little bit.
I love this move. He sends Armani ready back to go defend the main while he attacks into the third. New Warpin's coming in. Baneling's looking to hit, so splits go down for the Adepts.
How about the War Prism? The War Prism is what really lets it continue to snowball. The Banelings, so, I mean, they get okay shots, but the Hydra's left alone here, so the drones have to be pulled.
He still might just be able to clean that up, though.
Yeah, without the War Prism, I don't think there's a fear here. Even
if there was, there's no money. There's not like another 12 Adepts ready to warp in. He only got cash for 4.
Rush, he did start making probes and a War Prism and 2 Gas Geysers, so he would have been maybe able to have another full warp in. But I don't know. I think Armani, still would have had about 60 drones. I think he's, as long as he sniped that War Prism first and foremost, he was going to be able to hold against this. And this actually puts Rush Crazy in a difficult position. No upgrades, no continued techs was talking about, and Armani just needs to make sure that he doesn't let Adepts, just kill like 20 drones for no reason. So, and he should be good.
In like a weird hypothetical, I do like the Templar Archives, and it's kind of almost like Disruptors in a weird way. Archons and Storms don't require upgrades nearly as badly as like Adepts do, right? So I think if you are fighting Ling Bane Hydra, Storms and Archons are going to be your best friends. If you can pull those off, you might not need those upgrades as badly. Obviously, it's good to have, and you should never not have them given the opportunity. But I'm saying in this situation, I like this move. I think this is probably the best move he could have made.
Probably. Yeah. It's still a downside of it is that you're going to have Storms, but you're not going to have a lot of things to get that last hit. So unless Armani literally just lets himself bathe in Storms, his Hydras are going to survive, because without charge lots or... it's not even that he doesn't have charge. He could just warp in Adepts, and that's okay too, but he doesn't even have that many Adepts. Like, he really is choosing where to spend his minerals and gas right now.
By the way, you might need to take over. I don't know. Korea hates me.
Oh. Like it's 2016 all over again.
Yeah, we're hitting like 30 FPS or lower right now. Feels bad, man. Get it started sooner rather than later.
+2 is on the way, so that'll make Banelings one-shot those probes in the future, but I think it's more about this main push. 20 Banelings? Storm is finishing up, and there's going to be quite a few Storms available, so... the army might just die, but it might be at the cost of all of AsWell's. Splitting those Banelings very well.
Oh, that one is just waiting to connect to the heart of those Templar.
Luckily, they also do not die to one Baneling. They're using all of their Storms, though, on the Banelings, and that's it. Just the Archons warping in now.
Nothing left over for the Hydras. 5 FPS. We're definitely going to swap off who's streaming after this game, guys.
Well, Adepts, as I said, like, they can replace charge lots in a you know, in this situation where we really can't afford to also go for charge, but they have to kind of move up to the Hydras first. They take a lot of damage when they do that, and it's just not quite the same. Six charge lots might have been able to help this, but of course, not being damaged by the storm, having to use it on the banelings, like, rush crazy. Tried to go for the smartest move possible, but didn't work out. This is a smart move. This is what I was afraid was gonna happen, you know, 2-3 minutes ago. And then Armani maybe messes up his attack as well, and that's, I think, Rush Crazy's way back in.
Well,
but...
yeah, Armani doesn't exactly have enough to snowball out of control. It's a small handful of Hydras. Like, heck, I think a couple of Adept Scorpion could deal with this. Not literally a couple,
Almost.
but a few more.
Yeah, like 7 Adepts. Yeah, for sure. But Armani, well, he went down to 53 drones. It's still not bad. I mean, you know, Rush Crazy's down to 2 bases. One of them mostly mined out. So that was still damage favoring Armani. You know, 4 hatcheries who would eventually make up all the drone losses.
Well, I guess real quick, shout outs to Reiki for the new sub. Thank you for joining us. Where's Egg came back for another month. And then Gun and Grave for 8 months. Also, yo, I don't know how we missed this. N-Birds All XP 123 was a tier 2 sub. I guess I'm still not used to looking for the extra tiers because nobody ever does it. So thank you for that tier 2 sub, dude. Much appreciated.
Cool. Very cool. Well, this is finally going to be end here. Yeah, GG.
GG. Armani will take the first game in the series. All right, so folks, I really wish I knew what the problem was. This seems to only happen when we're casting in Korea. Like Corsair Cup, Europe, not a problem. Smooth as butter. But for some reason, this Korean client like kills my PC. There really is no reason for it. So we're going to swap off so you don't have to deal with some bad FPS. Hopefully things will look better when we get back. Just please keep in mind, you're going to hear this. And you're going to have to wait like 30 seconds to 2 minutes as Zombie Group gets her side up. And things will reboot ASAP. So be ready to refresh the page and check because it does not automatically refresh for you. It's a really annoying thing on Twitch, but it does not automatically refresh. You'll have to manually refresh it in like 30 seconds, a minute, whatever. So I guess we'll take this moment to take the stream down. And we'll see you guys in a moment. Thank you very much for watching.
I guess that makes sense that my camera wouldn't work. But the cat cam does. We're live.
You become the cat cam. You are now the cat cam.
Oh, okay. Oh, someone else made the lobby.
You make 36.
Oh. Armani made the lobby. Of course.
Of course. Okay, well, we're back live. This also means I'll get my camera back up in a second because I'm still actually, with the way delay works, guys, I'm still waiting for XSplit to finish up on my end. And then I'll scribble in the new sub names, I guess. Although my camera usually has FPS issues when I'm streaming with Zombie Grub from this way around. However, because I'm using my hand and not my face, it shouldn't really matter.
Oh, man. Oh, it's 2 different things, you stupid.
What?
I don't think I hate OBS about. Well, I don't really think it's OBS' fault. It's the fact that I have 2 of the same camera. But still. It won't just know what I mean when I say camera. Video capture device. Cat cam.
Kitty cat cam.
Why you know work cat cam? Why you
Kai
know work?
kai kitty come Kika.
Well,
All right, well,
okay, it's either your hand or a cat cam.
my hand.
Okay.
We'll do cat cam another time.
Alrighty then.
If they're being super ultra cute, we can supersede the hand cam for the cat cam.
I mean, as great as your hand is,
Yeah.
I don't think it's as good. Oh, I already had that scene preset. Well, that's good. And I made the lobby. So I'm amazing.
They're ready to go, and so are we. 47 says he just ordered his shirt. Hell yeah, dude. Nice. By the way, 47 is how did those emotes come? I love the preview you sent us, by the way. I thought they were all super. Like, I would almost make room for all 6 of those if I could. I really like the ace in particular, though.
There we go. Now it's beautiful. And hopefully the Windows updated, and it did mess with my settings a little bit, so...
Oh, dude, yeah, the Windows 10 update was really pushy, too. What was up with that?
I mean, what else is new? That's always been Windows 10.
Yeah, but normally I can, like, put it off, and it's like, remind me later, remind me later. I couldn't with this one.
Yeah. The first thing I did when it updated, though, is I, like, Googled, like, Windows 10 what to fix, or something like that, right? Because there's always something that they're like, hey, did I click this thing on, turn it off, or hey... you know, turn this off, you're gonna get, you know, things broken. I've actually been having trouble with my monitor. I have to turn off, like fast startup mode or whatever it is, because it messes with my monitor. But anyways, those complaints aside, I'm the one streaming now. So I remember putting, like, scores on and shit like that. Oh, God. We're in a game number 2. Hopefully it wasn't too much of a disturbance for you guys. In the bottom left, as the green Protoss, he is Rush Crazy.
And his opponent up right. He's up 1 game right now in the series. It's going to be the Blue Zerg Armani.
Turn up this thingamajigger. Alright. Should be good to go now. Even with the Bit Boss on. I get a N Birdzall XP 123.
Yeah, that's the dude who did the tier 2 awesomeness.
Yeah, you're right, it is. I guess you just finally hit that button. Boop. Alright, so Nexus after Gateway on Proxima. I mean, it's pretty safe anyways. Armani goes to the base out here. Pretty standard stuff, but Armani looked quite strong. Rush Crazy had a moment with that counterattack that was like, okay, you know, if you had done this in the first place, this might have been a different game, but a little bit too late, and mostly it was, you know, Armani letting himself be susceptible by trying to end the game more than I think Rush Crazy being super amazing with his Warp Prism Micro. He really just kind of set it and forget it for a while. I imagine something similar will happen on Proxima, to be honest. Some type of Hydra Bust. I mean, Rush Crazy was kind of the one to, I guess, instigate that last game with the Adept all-in. But Armani responded very well with Ling, Baneling Hydra, and he could do that on Proxima too.
I forgot how fun whiteboards are. I'm just catching up on everyone's names while the game starts.
Okay.
Stream won't be able to see this yet, but you can, right?
I mean, if I had Skype open.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever. I'll save it for later then. Anyways, yeah, I actually, whatever for the Warp Prism Micro, I was actually not so impressed by it because, of course, that one got picked off when it was so pivotal to the all-in. You thought he would have taken better care of it. But same time, credit goes to Armani. He was very quick to Hydras. He recognized what was going on very quickly, and he didn't make the wrong composition. Like, scouting a Stargate and going Mutas, you know, it feels bad, man.
Yeah. I mean, really, he went quite standard. I think the only thing he did to compensate for the attack was he droned a little less. He still had a 4th base, which, you know, Rush Crazy was right in not trying to attack. I mean, that wasn't really the point of contention in that game, but he only had about 59 drones, I think, which is still really good. Like, I mean, the fact that he was able to hold almost, like, easily... There's, like, 1 or 2 moments where it was like, oh, if you don't have any Lings, like, that's gonna be really scary, but mostly it was pretty fluid. That, I mean, that doesn't really bode well, I guess, for Rush Crazy. It's got to also be a little more surprising. Maybe he had a bit cleaner of an attack, that type of stuff. As I said, like, it's, I'm pretty sure you cut more probes for that usually, but that's, like, a very small little hiccup. Same exact build from both of them, I think. Like, Spore Crawlers put down at the same time, Evolution Chamber. Rush Crazy does go for a Void Ray instead of a Phoenix, and this can help with future attacks more than that one Phoenix did, but they both kind of do the same job initially, which is just clean up Overlords.
I really like... I kind of miss, actually, back in the day, Arthur. I was trying to remember the name from over there. Arthur would do those builds that had, like, a significant amount of Void Rays come out really quick, sometimes in proxy and sometimes not. But the one thing I always think back on, back to those days, was Hydras weren't really the counter back then. You actually went with Queens because they were better. I wonder if with the 10 health now, like, and I know this is like an absolute hypothetical, but if somebody was going heavier into Void Rays, would Hydras be an answer nowadays?
Yeah. I think a while ago I was casting a Fear Dragon, is like ladder here or something like that, and Puck was doing exactly what you're talking about. Well, close enough to it anyways, like almost exactly the old Arthur build. And, well, Hydra's just kind of dealt with it. And he didn't go into mass Void Rays, so I guess we won't see if it was really like Hydra's responding to Void Rays or Hydra's responding to like 5 or 6 Void Rays in the main base. But it wasn't too convincing. Not many people start off with Void Rays anyway.
By the way, not to be a nag, because I know this is not related to what people are talking about in chat, but just a reminder about game sounds if you didn't already adjust, since I know you like to have yours lower.
Yeah, I was muttering about that at the start of the game.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Skype sound. Okay, never mind. I'm dumb. You're good. Forgive me.
Yeah, I mean, they should be loud enough, but if it's not, let me know.
Well, straight to Fleet Beacons. Certainly going to be interesting to see how this goes.
It's usually not because I like the game sound low. It's for those times where you start messing up on Skype. Then I can kind of figure out what you're saying if the game sound isn't too loud. Hopefully that doesn't happen today, and I guess I should have knocked on wood. Oh well.
Way to go, Sambigo.
I know. I said that, people don't start off with Void Rays much anymore. If they are going to go into Mass Stargate, it is based off of, like, Adept in a Phoenix, or just in a Phoenix and then into Adept, or like something along those lines. But Void Rays are still an option. Not the case for Rush Crazy. It's Proxima. Not too surprised to see him go to Carriers, but, like, if you ever go directly to Carriers, that's kind of the hardest thing to pull off. And if you go directly to Carriers, I feel like either a fast Mothership is the way to go, or a lot of cannons at the front, which Rush Crazy has none yet. That's okay, because Armani's not quite ready to attack him yet. He's got to recognize what exactly is happening, and he's about to get an Overseer into that main base, and then, well, decide what to do, which I imagine is going to pull up a Baneling Hydra attack.
I don't know that I can objectively ever hear mass cannons at the front and not think about Neeb.
Yeah. So, well, to be honest, even without the Invader game that I feel like you're referencing, he also just is one of the guys that will pull off that style of defense, especially on Proxima.
Him and like a little bit older school, I guess Hearthstone would do it a lot too, in terms of like depending on what they were going for. But anyways, it is Carriers and it is going to be scary. And I guess the nice thing is on Proxima, you got this 3 bases pretty much set, so you know that you can at least open with this. The question is whether you can actually follow through with this. Because if you get hit when you've only got like 4 Carriers, Hydras don't care. They'll kill all the Interceptors and all the Carriers.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So the Mothership can help a little bit, especially if you're able to snipe the Overseer, so they just forget to bring them. Like, Zerg's have gotten really good about getting Overseers automatically. I mean, there's a time in, like, 2013 where, like, ZVZ, they wouldn't get an Overseer immediately, and, like, Roaches, Tunneling Claws would always ruin their day. But nowadays, I feel like everyone gets an Overseer. And if you see that it's going to be Carriers, like Mass Stargate, which Armani did scout thoroughly, I think most Zergs are also really smart about knowing that fast Mothership along with Carriers is kind of a very common way to try and open with it. But that means that there's really no cannons on the ground. There's not even a forge done yet, so yeah, that's the first forge being built. So it really is about the Mothership hopefully providing just that extra little bit of safety, and then praying that Photon Overcharge combined with Adepts is enough. But the Banelings are going to be good against the Adepts. They might hit the Sentries, and they might just take out all these pylons. Rolly, rolly, rolly!
There's I guess there's plenty of pylons where that came from, and the overcharges in the back aren't reaching anything though.
Yeah, he overcharged a lot of the ones that were dying anyways, so the Banelings still did their job. This one, of course, still going, but that's the only one, and I don't know, there's only Hydras left over, so Rush Crazy might just be able to hold, but Lings are reinforcing, and 19 probes already went down.
Maybe getting out of hand?
I don't know. These Adept Weapons should be able to clean this up. He was unable to target fire any of the Carriers, although a lot of the Interceptors went down. But it looks like it is just barely enough. Now, 3 bases and having 21 probes killed, that is a hit, certainly, to Rush Crazy's economy. But Armani on 4 bases, 67 drones can replace pretty quickly. And I don't think counterattacking is the way to go. This is a little overzealous, letting himself get out like this. Like, if the Hydra's not ready right here, right now. No, stop it! Stop it! Okay. They're definitely attacking their own Mothership. But if they were ready right now, especially on creep, like, he'd have to send a recall.
It's like a petty EMP is what it was.
Yeah, I guess so. Oh, the Mothership
Oh my gosh,
sniped.
she actually might not have died if she had those shields, though. That's what makes that so silly. But the Carriers still remain mostly unscathed. Once feeling a little bit hurt, its shields are gone too, but those will regenerate. 10 more Hydras are on the way, but unless these are all consolidated, like if these Carriers are catching them, even just a couple at a time, drop Overlords. What? Must be interesting.
I don't think Armani needs a way to circumvent the main army, but yeah, certainly that can be a tactic.
Well, I was gonna say I really like the idea of Hydra drops. I don't know about the Ling drops, but the Hydra drops because you'll tear down those buildings super quick. These Lings, I guess, do have +2 upgrades though, so they might get the trick done. But when you're fighting carriers like this, it's gonna hurt so much more to hit that slow pumping, very long production than necessarily the probe lines.
Do drop in. It was totally unexpected. A building mothership is not going to be able to help. The main force could go after the 4th base and continue to deny Rush Crazy's economy.
That's a nice deny. Outside the natural base, the big fight begins, though, and the Hydras will catch a lot of these interceptors. Not quite protected. The carriers were out of position, so 1 goes down, 2 goes down.
I don't think they were being microed. Not microing these ones. Maybe it won't go so badly. Once again, the Hydra's mostly unprotected, but Ling's getting into that mineral line, not being targeted. Okay, they are pulled back, but these Lings still rampage in the man and the natural. 30 probes die. Rush Crazy now down to just 30, actually less. The carriers need to respond to this. 27 probes on 4 bases.
Right. This ended up being, I think, a really big problem. Whoa. Is that mothership really loud? Or the mothership? Jesus. I think the problem was his army was good.
Ah!
Split. Are you serious? That recall cloak just saved the base?
That was
That's
pretty
so sick.
That was pretty
14 health
sick.
on that Nexus.
I didn't think that was gonna happen. That was shocking. I mean, that was cool and all, but now Rush Crazy's still only on 33 probes. I mean, he had enough of a bank to produce 4 probes like twice, but now running out of a bank, it's gonna take a long time to get back up to a comfortable 60. So he's gonna counterattack, hope that the things work out for him. But Armani has a very decent Hydra force that now has at least 1 upgrade.
Better than decent.
I don't know. A lot of interceptors. I mean, these carriers were mostly full, but that's a good concave. Queen's even getting involved. A lot of overseers. No way the cloak's gonna get in the way. Kind of target fire now, but he is running out of Hydras.
Yeah, I kind of wish he had done this right from the get-go, right? But at the same time, this is so just barely doing the trick.
Yeah, even a Spore Crawler kind of helps kill with the interceptors. Armani didn't have that big of a bank after that army was depleted, so he has like about 10 Hydras on the way out, but you know, they come out one at a time, and maybe the interceptors still do their job and still work, and Armani's desperately sending Lings across the map to hopefully force a recall.
So the Spore Caller is like the worst form of anti-air. I really don't know if there's like a worse attacking air unit. The Cyclone maybe. Excuse me.
Okay, the 3rd base does go down. That's a nice snipe, and the 4th base might go down after because, you know, Rush Crazy didn't really have a huge bank, but oh, a bunch of carriers. Well, 1 carrier just died, but a bunch of Hydras popped out, and that was just about the trick. Very close, though.
Yeah, and the thing behind this too is like, regardless of whether the carriers were like all or nothing for Rush Crazy, Armani did have those extra bases set up. Like, he wasn't actually screwed by losing his 3rd. 4th and 5ths are happy to go, and in fact, one of them is even mining.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely true. You got, I guess, a decent number of drones as well, and Armani really did have to, in an emergency, make as many Hydras as possible, so he's not having a bank to replace those, but, you know, Rush Crazy, had he not lost his 3rd base to the Lings, had he not taken, like, 9 more probe losses, maybe there's a game from here on out, really. Like, you know, 45 probes on 4 bases, and he did manage to save a couple of his carriers. I mean, Hydras, you know, they're not being pumped out as much, as often, but yeah, I think with the loss of the 3rd base and all those probes, it's going to be game over.
I think I really respect the choice to try and go carriers. You recognize Armani's a pretty good Zerg player, and this is a map that you get the opportunity to do it. And it really isn't so simple as just going carriers. And I think we see the carrier aspect of this be kind of broken a lot of the time. But getting to it's actually not that easy. In fact, it's kind of, I'd say more often times than not, we see a lot of players actually die in their transition to it. Gonna caught by their Ling attacks or like early Hydras. But that being said, Rush Crazy put in the best game he can. I really don't know that he's got much more fight left in him.
I'm looking and I'm like, could there be like
we're
6
actually,
players?
We're at this like fragile economy that he actually, regardless of replacing the carriers, might not be able to afford to replace interceptors eventually.
Yeah,
I mean, his
maybe.
income is just not there.
Yeah, he's got this one, like, full mining base, mind you. Not bothering to take the gas geysers quite yet.
Mind you.
Mind you.
Shush.
Was it a pun? Did I pun accidentally?
Mining.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I meant to do that. 13 more probes went down to a couple Baneling drops. Very, very nicely done. As yeah, Rush Crazy can't really be affording to produce probes, and not. I mean, he can't really produce carriers at this point in time. Again, that gas being a constraint, but by killing enough probes, yeah, then maybe the interceptors would be the problem too. Armani is a little shy, I guess, about pushing and ending the game. It is 27 Hydras to 8 carriers. The 18 Banelings, I mean, they might be able to kill the base. They're going to kill probes, obviously, but what about the army is what I'm looking at specifically here. And
they're going to one-shot the probes, too, which is important without +2 weapon upgrades.
Yeah, that's what they've been doing in the drops. I guess they'll take care of the Guardian Shield on the ground as well. There's no ground army for Rush Crazy.
Hey!
There really isn't.
Speaking of money, well, I guess not for players, but for tournaments. Thank you, Monty Un, for the donation, by the way.
Yay.
I didn't get that. I've got the pop-up window, and I still didn't hear it, though. Did you hear it on your side?
Oh, yeah. It's pretty loud.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever.
Recall here. I mean, you can recall multiple times, so this is a very nice response, and that's a lot of slaughtered Hydras. Only a carrier getting low but not dead. Immediately recalls to try and save the probes, and the Banelings rolling in.
They could still manually detonate, which is funny. Like, the cloak wouldn't have been the saving factor there, obviously. But Ling's going to flood by, and one of the things that is going to really hurt Rush Crazy is his slow-moving army. He recalled a couple of times. Fantastic. But he can't do this forever.
He could recall 2 more times, which might just be perfect, but he's really hesitant to. I think he realizes, like, alright, there's got to be something else. But his warp-in's just not going to be strong enough. They're not going to be plentiful enough. He's basically giving him his main base to protect an economy, which maybe at this point in time is the right thing to do. I think his one hope in this game is to get to that critical mass of carriers that basic Hydras just can't quite deal with. And low numbers of Hydras, too, because Armani's not exactly been maxed out at any point in this game. That's just got to be the way to go. It might work. It's a very desperate solution, but maybe in an extreme world, it could actually be the key to a victory. He's up to 9 carriers, which usually, if you're up to 6 carriers plus, you're also on your way to Storm and High Templars. But of course, with this game, how it is, he's only just sitting on that Templar Archives.
One of the things really cute, actually, is he started segmenting off like a couple of carriers here and there, so he doesn't have to split. And against Harass, that's fine. But, oh, Bailey's going to roll it. And remember, guys, this is like his only base with the mining, so any economic damage here is going to last. Yeah. Down to 19 workers on one base.
Rush Crazy had one brief moment where he was in an even army supply, and then he pulled back. And I think his time is starting to run out here. I mean, Armani really hasn't done anything in the last, like, 3 minutes to increase the value of his army. Just, you know, increase the actual amount of army is all. No +2, no +1 Carapace, no attempt to get to Vipers. I mean, this is a game where High Templars have not been an issue, so Abducts would have actually been fine, not just immediately feedbacked, but now it's a little bit too late. But I think Armani does just win with numbers. As I said, like, 3 minutes ago, there was that even army supply. Maybe there was a chance, but now down 40, 50. I don't think the carrier is going to be quite able to do it. I don't know. You don't usually see mass carriers, like literally just carriers for the most part, versus mass Hydras. Usually there are those other things to worry about, like a Spore Crawler line or Vipers, or for the Protoss, there's Archons or High Templars with Storm. Maybe a couple of Void Rays at some point, one or another. Like it's been a pretty basic army versus army fight for a while. Only both now adding in a bit more tech.
Like, run bys continue to be such a nuisance. Man, like, this is what I was talking about. The funny thing is, though, it's not going to matter now. Like, you hit a Protoss in their production, it's kind of like hitting a Terran in their production, right? All these pylons going down really sucks, but at the same time, Rush Crazy's not building new carriers. He's not transitioning into Void Rays anytime soon.
Which is why I really wish he had pushed out a little bit sooner. Maybe waiting for the High Templars was the right move, though. He was starting to bank a little bit of gas.
I think it was his only move, really. I mean, even if it wasn't for Storms, just Archon something, anything that could stand up to Baneling hits.
Well, yeah, I was going to say maybe just pushing when he had that. Like, how is he supposed to know he had an even army supply? That's totally, like, overly critical. But now, unbeknownst to him, he's down 50. Again, like, pretty basic armies, though. Infestors are on the way out, and there aren't any High Templars to feedback them, so they might get those really nice fungals. Only adding a bit of damage, but, you know, still. Guardian Shield just be killed pretty quickly here. Oh, no, it's surviving. I don't think it's protecting very much. Spore Crawler line also going to be a pain to chew through. It's just quite a few of them. Lings continue to ransack. I mean, if this really turned into a base trade, these Lings are getting a head start. And Rush Crazy just like, I don't know. 90k. Eh. The longer he waits, the worse this game gets. It's gonna go for maybe a blitz into the main base. Not a bad move at all. Get the hive, stop Vipers from coming out.
Didn't really think about Vipers up to this point, but if that is going to be the course that this goes, and you start abducting these carriers one at a time, I don't know, man. Even if you go over Temple for the feedbacks, it's still going to be tough, because Armani can make things, and frankly, Rush Crazy can't. Although he does hit the main, and Armani's not here, so that's the Hydra Den going down. That's the Hive going down. This is so much tech that's going to disappear, but he's saying, screw it, you know what? I'm going to just go for the base trade instead.
Recall is available. He'd have to use it right now, or he would risk just taking a lot of unnecessary damage.
Actually, he can only recall to this Nexus, and that's it, by the way. So if that Nexus dies, there's nowhere to recall to.
Gonna lose Storm. That was kind of a... okay, he does end up recalling maybe in enough time.
The force fields, though, are good, too. They keep the Hydras back, otherwise they would have absolutely started in. But you know what? We got Interceptors locking down, getting locked down by Fungals. We got Carriers getting hit by everything, and the Hydras just going to step backwards. And this is where money comes to be a problem. Interceptors are not expensive, but they're also not free.
Yeah, you can see that he is having trouble replacing all of those. Armani has almost 2,000 minerals in the bank, enough gas to really supplement that too, but he lost his Hydralisk Den, and he lost his Hive, so, you know, that's a big problem. He can't make any anti-air. Air defenders kind of count, so he's making 7 of them, making anything at all. Is this really how Rush Crazy is going to win? Oh, there's no Observer.
Whether he realized this or not, that was so sick.
Oh, I think he's gonna be so happy that happened, because I don't know, that Hydra army was starting to really die. Like, it seems tempting to take out the Interceptors when you know they're in a limited economy, but 11 carriers isn't a joke.
7 Infestors I don't know about, but with Burrow, and of course Burrow cast, might be kind of a good idea. I guess my concern here really is, like, Hydras, they're not a cheap unit. Maybe every single mineral and gas counts, and you might have needed, instead of 7 Infestors, an extra 14 Hydras.
I could see a world.
Does he not have pathogen glands? No. Oh god, he's invested in so many Infestors this game with no pathogen glands. Feels bad, man.
They were only supposed to be supplemental, but now they ended up being his main army. 12 more Hydras are on the way, and all of his army is survived. Like, these Infestors aren't getting picked off. His Burrow is pretty good move, and no Oracle to try even cast Revelation. It turned into a real base trade as Armani realized he was losing the main fight, so he's starting to take other bases. He's going for all the buildings, and like, Rush Crazy can't even make another gas geyser. He's trying to split his army.
He's rushing like crazy home, and he can't afford to replace the Interceptors. These carriers are not fully equipped to fight.
Yeah, I think that's just the way to go. I mean, you can fungal Interceptors as well, but he just goes for the carriers, make sure that they die to the Hydra Focus Fire.
I kind of wish you would fungal the Interceptors, though, funny enough. Like,
the Hydras die.
Eventually, the Fungals will kill the carriers. It's not much damage. It's like, what, 30 damage, right, per Fungal?
No, but, like, seriously, like, you can get a chain reaction, which is the problem. So, as long as you get that, I think it might just be worth. Whereas a chain on the carriers is not going to be worth.
I just don't think he realizes that there's no money to replace all those Interceptors. That doesn't show
true.
to your opponent, right? Like, you don't get to know.
What is Armani seen? He's seen him, like, himself kill all these bases, but then he's seen, like, more carriers, you know? Like, I think it was from 6 carriers, Rush Crazy started to lose out on his economy. He lost that 3rd base, he lost a bunch of probes in the natural, yet Armani kept seeing carrier after carrier pop out, so he must have been thinking, like, there's a huge bank, and there might still be.
How many carriers got killed this game, by the way? 6 plus 6. The 11 that's in play. So
it's like almost 42 probes? What?
What's almost as many? Look, there's almost as many probes as Interceptors.
I had no idea there was that many. Oh my god.
73 drones is also nothing to scoff at either, but I'm just going to mention a 25-minute game is...
Oh, no Fungal.
I didn't expect it to come down to building kills, you know what I mean?
Doesn't matter, just kidding. I thought the Infestors were gonna... Oh my god, the Infested Terrans can't focus fire the flipping carriers.
I just need to focus fire the flipping buildings and it's gonna be all over.
You're right, it's still game, it's still game! No! So close. His army was winning.
I love that he got in there with the GG though, like he knew what was about to happen.
Oh, that's so funny though, his army was winning.
Oh man.
What happened here?
By the way, can you read this? I'm not sure if it's backwards or not.
No, it's fine.
Okay, cool. There's the tier 2 hype for N-Birds, thank you very much.
Amazing. Thank you to New Abel for the 39-month resub. Holy shit.
You guys can see how different my writing becomes when I have to write like this, propped up against the wall. There we go. Thank you, Nobel. We do appreciate you, man. And of course, Monty, thank you for the $15 again. That's really awesome. You're like the only one who donates to us. Feels good, man. I do want to actually bring attention to this, though. And this is not like, don't, oh, guys, please. Go look. Don't feel like you need to donate, but go look at the Mega Tournament fundraiser. I had just gotten lazy, frankly, so I kind of added in a couple of bucks to make up for it. But we added in the $700-something we had collected over the last month and a bit from your guys' contributions that we had just not forwarded to it. So we're actually really close to, I think, like 9K now or something. 9,000.
Yay.
How did we not have like an it's over 9,000 goal? We're so stupid. Why are we so bad at planning things?
I don't have a response.
Anyways, it's at 8,559. Donations to the channel still get forwarded over here. We'd appreciate if you guys would hit it up yourselves, though. I don't know when it happened, but thank you, Alice, for the $100 contribution over there as well. If you're in chat today, and if you're not, we'll make sure to say hi next time we see you. But that being said, first series is complete, and we're going to be going to a commercial break as we look into fighting Armani versus Innovation.